Hey everybody, welcome to my plant-based kitchen. Can't wait for you guys to come inside. Let's get busy. Hey guys, welcome back to Kimberly's Plant-Based Kitchen. We are in the kitchen today and we are going to put together something that is going to be so scrumptious and delicious. Really easy for you to do. You can have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We are going to do a veggie plant-based frittata. So we're going to actually put it, I usually do mini muffins with it, and I make it easy so we can pack it with us to go for lunch or have it really quick if we come home for dinner. But today we're going to do it in these little mini cast iron skillets, and it's going to get a nice little crust on the bottom and on the sides. It's going to be so good. And we're also going to make a delicious salsa to go on top. And I think we're going to do a really, not super fancy, but kind of fancy pomegranate salad that you could also eat with it. And maybe even fry up a couple of plantains to put on there. Be a nice little mix of flavors. So let's get started. We're going to chop up some bell peppers today. Let's talk about the veggies we're going to put inside. So we're going to do bell peppers. We're going to do the red bell pepper. We're going to do some zucchini. We're going to do some baby kale. We're also going to put in some shallots. And we're going to spice it up with a little bit of jalapeno. And you could do different veggies if you want to. You could do, instead of the kale, you could do spinach. You could add corn. I don't do corn, but you could add corn if you wanted to. You could add different colored peppers, green, yellow. So this is what we're going to do today. And we're going to use some chickpea flour. I don't know if you guys are familiar with nutritional yeast, but we're also going to use some of that to give it a nice cheesy flavor. And we'll add a little sea salt, and we'll use, I think we're going to use the Cuban mojo today. And we're going to add some garlic and a little bit of basil, spice it up. It's going to be super good. So let's get going with chopping up these veggies really fast. Hope everyone is doing good. And I hope everyone has been using these recipes and the videos to actually get started with your plant-based cooking. I hope you're not just looking at the videos and entertaining yourself and not getting in the kitchen. So if you want to make some changes in your life, you want to start feeling better, you want to start eating better, you're going to actually have to get in there and start using these recipes. So I'm just chopping this red pepper up. And we're going to chop it up kind of small. It doesn't have to be super small. It doesn't have to be a mince. I'm just going to cut it lengthwise first. And then we'll chop it down. And we're going to use this whole pepper for this recipe. So let's get this chopped up. And then we're going to chop up some of our shallot. And the shallot, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a cross between garlic and like an onion. So it's a milder flavor than like your regular onion would be, and you could actually use it to replace garlic if you're not into garlic, and it'll still kind of give you that flavor. Okay, so let's chop up this other half really quick here. So we're going to use the shallot, we're going to use the pepper, and we're going to actually grate up our zucchini, and I'm going to show you guys how to get all the water out of the zucchini, because if you don't, then this would be like a complete mess. Our frittatas would be really soggy and wet, and they wouldn't set all the way. So you want to make sure that you squeeze all of the water out of these zucchinis once we actually get it grated up. Okay. And like I said before in all the other videos, if you don't want to take the time to actually chop all this up, throw it in your food processor. Make it super easy. So you could have actually chopped up all the red peppers and the shallot and the jalapeno together in the food processor. And that would definitely save you some time. I'm old school. I've been doing this for a while. So sometimes I forget I even have a food processor. And I just get to chopping. Okay, so just take that to the side and we'll just chop this up just a little bit more. Make sure these are in some small pieces. And then we'll chop up this shallot. So we're going to chop this shallot up nicely. And we're going to use the whole shallot. And I don't know if you guys know anything about chickpea flour. But if you're trying to steer clear of grains and gluten, that would be like the perfect flour for you. These are going to be gluten-free. You don't have to worry about that. You can enjoy these without being worried that you're getting any gluten. And the chickpea flour is really good. I use it for pancakes. I've used it for waffles, muffins. So I've used it for a few different types of things. So I know so many people are gluten intolerant now. Like, I mean, I don't know, is the whole world not able to deal with gluten? I don't know. But it totally seems like that. Just the way that wheat is grown nowadays, it's not like it used to be back in the day. They grow wheat a certain type of way, and they use certain types of chemicals, I guess, to grow these wheats. And most people can't tolerate it for their, systems. It makes people really tired, lethargic, all kind of different symptoms when you can't do wheat. So that's something to think about. If you've been having symptoms like that, it might be the wheat. Because our food system and the way that they grow stuff is not always the best. So you always have to do your research and really find out how your food is grown and where it's growing. Okay, so we got our shallot together, and it's like an onion. Your eyes will water. Woo! My eyes are watering. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do this zucchini. You don't have to cut the skin off, you guys. Just leave the skin on. Just wash everything. All this stuff is pre-washed. So we're just going to grate our zucchini. And we're going to do about half of this zucchini. And then I'm just going to show you guys how you can squeeze the water out just to make sure that your frittata turns out really good and it's not all mushy and doesn't cook all the way. So we can put this over here, the rest of this off of here. But yeah, zucchini is one of those vegetables that you're going to get a lot of water from. If you are trying to eat more foods that are hydrating, zucchini would definitely be one of them. Cucumbers, zucchinis, there's so many different fruits. Melons, you can get a lot of water from. So I'm just going to take my handy dandy kitchen towel here, and I'm going to put it's a clean kitchen towel. I'm going to put my zucchini in here, and then I'm going to squeeze all the water out. And then we'll have nice dry zucchini. So if you're making zucchini bread, zucchini muffins, you would do the same thing. Because you don't want all that water to be in there. Okay. Something I learned from the food channel. Let's see. Because I'm not a professionally trained chef. But I have watched the food channel. So we're just going to squeeze this out over the sink. And you'd be surprised at how much water is actually in zucchini. So there's some water actually dripping out. And another nice good squeeze. All right, there we go. And let's get all that water out. Okay. We'll bring the zucchini back over here. And nice and dry. Okay, so that was super easy. Let's see how wet this towel is. Okay, so our zucchini is nice and dry. And let me grab a mixing bowl, guys, and we're going to put this in the mixing bowl and get it going. Okay, guys, we're going to chop up this baby kale, all washed and ready to go. We're just going to bunch this all up together, make this super easy. This is about a cup of kale, and we're just going to chop it down this way first, lengthwise, and then we'll turn this around and chop it down again. Want to make sure you get all those little stems and everything. So just chop it this way. And these frittatas are going to be really, really good. And like I said, they're so easy to make and just make a great snack. You can turn it into a whole meal. You can have a fruit bowl with it in the morning or a smoothie. You can have it for lunch or dinner with a salad. So it's super easy, really filling. And I got this idea. There's this restaurant down in Venice. I live in California. If you're not from here. And they actually have this there. So I was super inspired to figure out how do they make that. And theirs comes in a little black cast iron skillet. So I'm like, I gotta do that. I'm totally gonna copy them. So let's get our bowl. And we're gonna do our chickpea flour. And we're going to have all these items on our list that you guys will be able to download. We're going to do a cup and a half. Let me just check my recipe here. We're going to do a cup and a half of the chickpea flour. Oh, and before that, let me preheat the oven. We should have done that first, you guys. Make sure you preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Get that going. And then let's make sure we have our exact amount for our chickpea flour. We are going to use a cup and 3/4. So let's get our cup here. I have to do it this way. Or there's so many different types of flours that you can use. You can use almond flour. You can use spelt flour. So it just depends really on the recipe. And when you're doing the plant-based and you're cutting out the eggs and the milk, you're really going to have to play around sometimes with your recipe when you're baking to see which flours that you like. So we're just going to put this excess back in the bag. So that's going to be 1 cup. Remember with baking, you want to make sure your measurements are exact. You don't want to go guessing a pinch here and a pinch there until you really get good at this. So let's do, we need 3 of these. This is a 1/4. So it calls for 3/4. So we're just going to level this off also. So that's 1. It's going to be 2. 2. And 3. So really with this recipe, I usually put these in a muffin tin and it makes about actually I think a perfect dozen. So we're going to see today, this is actually my first time putting it in the skillet, but I know it's going to turn out good, don't worry. But I just couldn't wait to use the skillet because I know it's going to give it a nice crusty, like around the sides and on the bottom. And then the inside will be nice and soft and delicious. So it's going to be really, really good. Okay, so we got our chickpea flour in there. Let's do our baking powder. And I think the baking powder is going to be about a teaspoon. Yep, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Where are my little spoons at? Let's see. There you go. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're just going to level this off also. It's going to help our frittata rise so it's not all flat. Okay. So if these aren't things that you have in your kitchen, like baking powder, chickpea flour, once you buy it, you'll use it if you're really getting in there and actually cooking, and you'll have it for a while. So once you get it, you'll be stocked up in your pantry. Okay, and then we are going to add our garlic powder. So this is our garlic powder. We're going to add that. It smells really good. We're going to add some dried basil leaves. Give it some flavor. And then we're going to do some of our Cuban mojo seasoning, just to do something different. Remember guys, with the spices, there's no rules or regulations. You can use these however you like. Just because it's a frittata and it's not an actual Cuban dish doesn't mean you can't use these spices. It's all about, you know, being creative and getting in there and doing some different stuff. So in this spice, there's paprika, there's onion powder, garlic, oregano, there's some black pepper. We even put coconut sugar in here, sea salt, orange peel, lime peel. So it's full of flavor. Try it out. It's going to be super good. You guys can order these. We'll have the link for that in our recipe. So that's going to go in there. We still got a little garlic powder in there. We're going to get all of that out. And we're going to add a little bit of salt. And I'm going to start with like 1/8 of a teaspoon. Or let's do, actually I cooked this before. Make sure it has some flavor. Let's do a 1/4. Just to make sure it has some flavor. And that's it for our spices. And we're going to add our nutritional yeast. So this is what's going to give it that good cheesy flavor. So let's see, I think we need 3/4 of a cup of, let's see, 1 teaspoon. So we're going to use a 1/4 cup of the nutritional yeast. This is a 1/4. Okay, I always add a little extra. Why not? We like it cheesy. Don't be scared. And with the salt, I just looked at my recipe again. It actually said 3/4. So let's do 2 more of these sure this has some flavor. Okay, and that's our sea salt, not regular table salt. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's just double check our recipe and make sure. We have our baking powder, chickpea, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, everything's in there. You could also use a black salt also if you have it, so sea salt or black salt. So let's add our water, and this doesn't require any type of plant-based milk or anything. So we're gonna add 2 cups of water to this mixture, and let's stir up our dry ingredients first just to make sure everything is mixed up really good. Into the flour, all our seasonings and our herbs that we added in there, the basil, the nutritional yeast, all get mixed in really good. Okay. So now, get these out of the way. We can add in our water, and then we'll add in all of our veggies. Okay, so it's going to be 2 cups of water. It sounds like a lot of water, and this is actually going to look kind of watery, but it all works out in the end. So that's 2 cups of water. And you don't have to use a hand blender with this. You could really just stir it up with a wooden spoon. You don't need a stand mixer. Super easy. I thought I had a spoon that too. So we're just gonna stir this up a little bit. Okay. And now let's just add our veggies in here. Our kale. Take this off. Yes, get this stuff out of the way. And we're gonna scoop this stuff in. So we got our zucchini, we got our jalapenos, our shallots, and our red peppers. So we're gonna get all this good stuff in there. We're not gonna leave anything behind. Okay. And now we're just going to stir all this up together. And then we're going to make sure that our black cast iron skillets are oiled, which they already are because I make sure to keep mine oiled. Like if you have your cast iron, make sure you're keeping them nice and oiled every time you use them. Wash them, dry them really, really good, and oil them again. That's what is going to keep them in good shape and going to keep them non-stick. So then you don't have to worry about your food sticking to them if you keep them really nice and oiled. Okay guys, this is ready. So just a quick stir. Let me grab our cast iron skillets. And these are our cast iron skillets. How cute are these, you guys? Now come on. Your own little personal frittata. Invite your friends over for brunch or something. You can totally make these with a beautiful fruit platter. You can have some mimosas, or you can have some smoothies, depending on if you're doing alcohol. So let's pour these in they're oiled, they're nice and oiled. Check that out. Okay, and we're gonna fill these up. Almost to the top, but not quite. I mean, when I had this at the restaurant that I went to, I was just hooked. I would drop my children off at school sometimes on my day off, and I would go over there, sit down, have one of these, do some work, and really enjoy myself. So now I'm able to do it at home. So now we're gonna put these in the oven, and they're gonna bake for about 30 minutes. You're gonna wanna put a toothpick in the middle, make sure it's done. And sometimes it's not gonna be completely all the way set. So if it's past the 30 minutes, you put your toothpick in there and it's still a tiny bit wet, just take it out because it's going to still kind of cook once it's out, and then it will totally be done by the time you get ready to eat it. It'll take like maybe another 10 minutes or so. But you don't want to overcook it because it will be dry. So we're going to put these in the oven, guys. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. We're going to put our salsa together for our frittata. We have some cute, pretty little cherry tomatoes here. We have some yellow and orange ones. These are going to be awesome. I'm just cutting these in half. Our frittata is basically done. I'm going to check on that right now. Our timer has gone off. So we're just chopping these in half and then chopping them one more time, each piece. So I have all of these already chopped up. We're going to put them in this bowl. So it'll just be like a nice chunky pico de gallo. so it doesn't have to be cut down super small. Let's cut up just a couple more. And tomato season is over. I'm so sad about it. I grow tomatoes in my garden in the backyard. I grow these little small ones. And they're so sweet and delicious and fresh in the summertime. So I am definitely going to miss that. But we have all our fall stuff coming in, so I'm excited about that too. So collards and kale and eggplant, a bunch of good stuff. If you guys don't have a garden, think about it. It's nothing like growing your own food right in your backyard. You can just go pick it, have all your herbs available at any time. Alrighty, let's check on our frittata and see if that's ready. It definitely should be. Like I said, you want to make sure you use a toothpick and check the middle. Yeah, these are looking amazing. So good. And usually what I do is I'll just rub a little bit of vegan butter on the top. Check our one at the bottom. Pull this out a little bit. Yeah, that looks great. It's ready. Oh, the edges are nice and crusty. Oh yeah. This is going to be so good. I'm going to grab a little bit of vegan butter and we're just going to put that on top while it's hot. And you guys know the vegan butter I love to use. This one's really good. Miyoko, you can find it at Sprouts, Whole Foods, different stores now. It's pretty much available anywhere. But we'll definitely put it in the recipe so you guys have it. And we're just going to take this over and just rub the top of our frittata with it. While it's nice and hot still. That looks so good. I cannot wait to taste this. With our Cuban Mojo seasoning, our basil, the sea salt. You guys, this is going to be so bomb. Okay, so let's get back to our salsa. Those cool off, and we're just going to turn this oven off. Okay, so we have our tomatoes here. We have some red onion we're just going to chop up. This can be just a nice rough chop. Nothing fancy, you guys. Just chop it. It can be kind of chunky. Put this right on top of your frittata. It's going to be so good. Yum. And you can mix this up. You can even add some cucumbers to this if you wanted to. Just fresh veggies. All right. I even had a few ripe plantains at home, so we're definitely going to fry those up in the pan and add that. We have us a jalapeno here. So we're just going to cut out a little bit of the rib. It doesn't have to be super hot, so we're just going to cut that out and some of the seeds. And we'll chop this up and add it. Okay, then we'll put a little lime. I'm going to add some of these scallions. So I know when I was trying to stay off of the eggs, I'm always back and forth with the eggs, so don't feel bad if you're there with me. But I try to stay off of them as much as possible. So when I am and I'm doing good, the frittata kind of takes the place of that for me. You know, it's kind of like an omelet in a pan. It's really good. Or omelet on the go if you put it in the muffin pan and you just have the little individual ones. Okay, let's put this in there. We got our jalapenos. So yeah, it's always when you're going plant-based, kind of about finding things that take the place of some of your favorites. So then you're feeling satisfied and you're not feeling so much like, oh, I want to go back to what I was eating that wasn't good. So let's see here. We got our, let's do our scallions, guys. We got our scallions. Let's put those in there. Start down here with the white parts. Like I said, it can be just a nice rough chop. Nothing fancy. Pop these in there. It's going to be a yummy salsa. And we're going to do some of this cilantro. Our cup over here. Everything's nice and cleaned already. I know I've probably talked about this before, but guys, when you get your veggies home, just wash them. Get you a good plant-based veggie wash that's all natural. and get in there, clean all your vegetables, dry them, store them, and then when you're ready to cook, you already have them. And you don't have to worry about, you know, that part of it, the prepping. Your veggies are already clean. You grab them out of your bags, out of the fridge, and add them to whatever you're doing. And it makes your life a whole lot easier and moves your cooking along in the kitchen a whole lot quicker. Okay, guys, let's do our lime. And we'll add a little sea salt and a little black pepper. So a nice fresh lime. And we're going to do both of these. So the whole lime. Alright. And if you have a actual citrus juicer or squeezer or whatever it's called, use that. It makes it a whole lot easier and you're going to get all the juice out of it. Little sea salt. And we'll have the measurements for you guys in our actual printout for the recipe. And let's do a little black pepper. Fresh ground black pepper here. Right. Looks good. Right. And I think that's everything. Got our cilantro, we got our onions, tomatoes. I think we got everything in there, guys. Let's toss this up a little bit. It looks delicious. It just looks really fresh. Looks so, you guys, I mean, I can't wait to have this on top of the frittata. It's going to be so good. And we're going to make this really delicious fall salad. We're going to have a kale salad. We're going to do some kale. And we're going to do some pomegranate seeds, some fresh apples, some red onion. Okay, that's ready. Simple, easy, quick, fresh pico de gallo to go on top of your frittata. Let's rinse this off and let's start putting our salad together really quick. Okay, guys, we're going to put our plantains together. Not sure if you're familiar with plantains. I love plantains. It's like a banana, and I like to eat them basically with anything almost. But I do this amazing Jamaican jerk mushroom bowl, and I use them in that. If I'm eating anything like Jamaican or Caribbean, I would love to make some plantains. But I had these at home, and I just thought that sweet, savory flavor with our salsa would really be delicious. So why not fry some plantains? So we're going to fry these in a little bit of grapeseed oil, and it only takes a second. Sweet, but they're not as sweet as bananas. So I think that's what I like about them. If you've ever had a burro banana, it's kind of similar to that. We're going to fry these in some grapeseed oil. We're going to take these over here. Have a little bit of grapeseed oil. Put in our little stainless steel pan. Just to fill the bottom of the pan. So you don't need a whole lot of oil. It doesn't need to deep fry. And let's turn this on to medium heat. A medium-low fire, because we want to let this get caramelized on the outside and kind of crispy. So it's going to be really good. So we're going to drop these in here, and they're going to fry up kind of slow. We don't want them to go fast, because like I said, I want them to get kind of sugary, caramelized, crunchy on the outside, and they'll be nice and soft in the inside. So this will be a nice contrast of flavors with our frittata. I think you guys will like this. And that's what the new plant-based kitchen cooking is all about, is trying new things and being open-minded. So let's see how that turns out. I think that's going to be good. We'll let those cook over a medium-low heat. And our frittatas are out. We've got our salsa. Let's put together our salads. So we're going to do a fall kale salad. And we're going to get our apple ready here. And we're just going to cut this apple in fours, and then we're going to take out the core. So if you're not familiar with taking out a core of apple, just take that core out right there. Turn this one upside down and make sure I get it on this side. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut these into little wedges. And I'm just going to cut these into matchsticks. So just really thin pieces of apple. I'm not worried about the skin that can stay on. So I don't know about you guys, but my favorite apple is a Honey Crisp. Oh, it's so good. It's kind of tart, but it's kind of sweet at the same time. Really crispy. I am so not down for like the mushy apple. Disgusting. I'm all about a nice crisp apple. So a Granny Smith, a Honey Crisp. And this is the season for Honey Crisp. So you'll see them a lot more in the fall. This is their season. So just a few more pieces here. And then we'll get our kale in the bowl. But yeah, nothing like a good salad. So you're getting all your greens, you guys. Get in as much raw greens as you can. All the vitamins, nutrients, and minerals you're going to be getting in every day is really going to be good. And your body's going to feel it and love you for it. Okay, so we have our kale over here already cleaned. Okay, just get some of this water off. And we'll just pat it dry with a few of these paper towels. Okay, so we'll just put our kale on here. And if you have a salad spinner, that's one of my items on our kitchen equipment list. Make sure you get it. It makes your life so much easier. And I know I like to get my salad my leaves really dry so that my dressing really sticks on there and doesn't just slide off. So we'll just use these paper towels. It works. So if you don't have a salad spinner, get out your old handy dandy paper towels and make it work. So this is baby spinach. So these pieces aren't really big. So you can just put these in here whole. If you want to chop them up, you can. I just eat mine whole. No biggie. Okay. And you can, do any leaf of your choice. You could do arugula with this. You could do spinach. You could do romaine. But this is going to be a really good, nutritious salad at the same time delicious with the kale. So if you haven't tried kale, definitely try it. We're going to rub this down with just a little bit of the grapeseed oil, just so the skins aren't as tough. Just need a drop. Okay. And you're just going to actually literally, make sure your hands are clean. You're just going to actually literally just rub this a little bit. And this will just make it where the kale isn't so tough, because kale can be really tough. And it just takes a few minutes. Kind of get in there and just give them a nice good rub. And you can do this before you put it in all these little individual bowls, actually, in one big bowl, and that might make it a lot easier. Okay, so I think that'll be good. All right, and then we can add some of these apples. And you know how I am about making stuff pretty, you guys. Put your little apple matchstick pieces in the middle. So check on we're doing good over here. Not ready to turn yet. Put those right in the middle. Looks gorgeous and pretty already. And delicious. So you know how I feel about presentation and the aesthetics of it all. Your food, if your food looks really good, it makes it even more appetizing looking, and you just really want to eat it and enjoy it. So take the time to make your stuff look nice. Okay, so we have that. Let's cut up a little bit of red onion to add to this. We're going to thinly slice this as thin as we can get it. Okay, take this off. Outside. And just add a little bit of red onion to this. Right here on the side. Get your red onion. Nice and pretty. All right. So we got our red onion. And we got our apples. And we're going to do some cucumber. I'm just going to slice this. Nice and not super thin, but fresh salad filled with hydration and nutrients. So you're gonna have a delicious meal that tastes good and that's actually gonna be good for your body. So you can't beat that, you guys. Let's talk about actually cooking some food that actually keeps you healthy. Okay, and then we're gonna place these on here. We can just place these on the side here. Put our little leaves up a little bit there. Okay. And get some over here. Here. And a few more over here. And now let's check our plantains because they might be ready to actually flip over to the other side. And let's do that right there. Okay, and we're gonna put our pomegranates on there. Let's check on these. Let's just grab a fork so we can flip these over. Okay, if they're browning on there on that side. Looking good. Alright. Well, kind of broke up, but hey, it's okay. Keep it moving. Alright. Let's see if this one holds together. There we go. That looks nice and pretty. Whoops. Okay, it's alright. As long as it tastes good. Okay. And let's flip this one over. Alright. Okay. There we go. Save that one. Save this one. But you see how nice and crispy they got on the outside. Okay. Alright. And we'll let this cook on this side just for a few more minutes. Make sure the oil is distributed in there all over. Alright. I'll do that just a couple more minutes. Okay, we got our salads together. Let's get our pomegranates and our microgreens. We have some rainbow microgreens here today. So we're gonna put just a little bit on top. So this is like cilantro microgreens and arugula microgreens. So this is just a nice little topper for our salad. Yumminess. And now we're gonna put some fresh pomegranate seeds. And no, I didn't buy fresh pomegranate. I'm not doing all that. Let's make life easy. Buy these right at the store. Just grab a spoon. They're already cut and peeled for you. Make it easy. Okay, let's see. Got me a spoon. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I love pomegranates. We're gonna sprinkle some of these on here. You know, how beautiful does that look? So pretty. And it's gonna be delicious. Yum. What a salad. And we're gonna make a quick pomegranate salad dressing for this. And we'll be ready to plate our food up. We'll be right back, you guys. Okay guys, let's make our salad dressing for our salad. We're going to use a little bit of this organic olive oil with basil. And we'll have the exact measurements for you, don't worry. So a little olive oil with basil. It's gonna have some great flavor. Got a pomegranate vinaigrette. I think I used this for something before. We're gonna use it for this salad dressing today. It's gonna be yummy. Such good fall flavors. We're gonna make this a little creamy with a little mustard. So this is just a spicy brown mustard. It's not really that spicy though, at all. And we're just gonna add like a tablespoon of that. We got some raw organic honey here. And we're gonna add like about a tablespoon of this. Sweeten it up just a little bit. You could use agave, you could use honey, use maple syrup, raw maple syrup if you'd like. We're gonna add a little bit of sea salt. Super easy to make dressings, you guys. It is not that hard. We are going to add a little black pepper. You can throw together a fresh salad dressing in like 2 minutes. Look how fast I'm going. And this is it. And you don't get all the preservatives. You don't get any of the refined white sugar in it. You know exactly what's going in your salad dressing. I'm going to use a little bit of water. You can do this in a food processor. You can put it in a blender, or you can put it in a glass jar like I'm doing, this mason jar. And you can shake it up really quick, and guess what? You're finished. And you got a really delicious salad dressing that doesn't have all the extra mess in it. Just good, fresh ingredients. Okay, and you can store this in your refrigerator for 5 days after you make it in a jar. Let's just grab a spoon and see what it tastes like. If we need anything else. How easy was that? Perfect. Delicious. Okay, guys, so we have our dressing. And let's start plating up our food. Okay, guys, let's get it all plated up, looking pretty and gorgeous. You know how I like to do it. So we have everything. Let's get our frittatas over here. Plate these, and you're going to actually serve these just like this in the skillet, so you're not taking those out. So if you're serving this, you might want to get you some cute little placemats that you can put this on your table with. We're going to get our salsa, and we're going to put some salsa on here. This is our fresh, delicious salsa. So let's just put some of this right on top. I'm just going to put this off to the side here. I mean, how delicious does that look? Yum. So hungry. Guys know I'm hungry every time I do this show. It's so ridiculous. Okay, it looks amazing. And I'm going to plate that right there. Yum. Okay. And we're going to add some avocado to this, you guys. Why not? Avocado goes great with any and everything. Some nice little avocado slices to go on top. I mean, this is such a nice brunch idea. Just thinking about this, like the next time I have a group of girlfriends over, this would be the perfect dish to serve. And it's super easy. You can put this together so quickly. Oops. Kind of messed that up, but yeah. That like that. And let's get our other avocado pieces over here. And then we're going to put some of our fried plantains on this. And it's going to be so delicious. We got our avocado on here, our pico de gallo, looking yummy. Let's put a few plantains on here. You guys, this looks so yummy and tasty. Come on now. We have our beautiful fall salads. Yum. Our kale and our pomegranates. We have our amazing dressing here. Now we're just going to pour over. You guys, get in the kitchen. Make this amazing meal. Step outside of the box. Try something new. You got the recipe. I showed you how to do it. Super easy. Let's get it together. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Kimberly's Plant-Based Kitchen. Peace and blessings.